yet.
We can't just wait to be rescued. We have no idea when or if the Resolute is gonna catch up. But if we can get access to the Zeldi systems, we might be able to figure out what the Takan are up to. You got somewhere we could do that? For how uptight the Elydians are, our cargo bay is kind of a mess.
Come on, Carter. We need to stick with the tall guy.
Up there? All right. Etzelar, let's do this.
The internal sensors.
The what?
When they scan the ship for life signs, they'll know right where we are.
There must be devices that perform the scan.
Right there. And there. There's several of them around the room.
Got it. We'll disable them.
How? They're too high to reach, even for me.
Not too high for our phasers.
Low power, Millie. Let's not set off any fire alarms.
I got the ones over here.
Got one. Another down.
Hurry, Carter!
I am! Only one left.
Here it comes. It worked. They won't be able to detect us.
That buys us some time.
Now that the Zeldi has its power again, I might be able to access some of the ship's systems from here. I'll take care not to give away our position.
The Takan might not even know we're still on board this ship. Miranda only saw us transport away. She probably thinks we're back on the Resolute.
Miranda.
Don't give up on her yet, Carter. She had you in her sights, and she didn't shoot. That means the real Miranda is still in there. The Takan don't have her. Not completely, at least. She must still feel something.
That is a reason to hold out hope.
And a reason to remember the Takan haven't just hijacked this ship. They've hijacked every body they're in. I know she played us, used her sympathies, your relationship to break out of sickbay. But maybe there's a way to turn her back and Miranda could help us stop the Takan. Here, on the ship. Just because the Trill joining is permanent doesn't mean the Takan bioforming has to be.
I've heard enough of your prattling on about your friend. You have to think like a soldier. She's our enemy now. She'll be dealt with like the rest of the Takan.
My friend Miranda is not responsible for what she's doing. The Takan have taken control of her mind. We certainly can't kill her for it.
Speak for yourself. If anyone threatens the Empire, they are the enemy. It's just one life, and it's already been lost.
You don't get to talk about Miranda.
You don't get to ignore the truth.
There is no such thing as just one life. And she is not lost. This isn't calculus. You can't just break it down by the numbers.
Perhaps that's why my Admiral and everyone else in the final transport was lost. A problem with your calculus. Our losses are mounting. Yours are just beginning.
We're stuck on this ship, same as you.
I'm blocked out of helm control. Propulsion? And they're closing down systems faster than I can check them. They're always changing these interfaces. I can hardly keep up.
Let us help.
Fine. They're using a senior officer's access code to lock down our systems from the bridge. The Takan must have turned someone in command.
Here's something. I can see the course they have plotted in. The Lydian fleet has explored a lot of systems, but it's all in the opposite direction of where we're going. The Zeldi, that's where we are.
That's not exactly news.
Long way from Hotari space.
I hope the Resolute is all right back there.
We're headed to the edge of the galaxy.
Nothing but uninhabited systems along the way. And if we keep going, we'll leave charted space. A lot sooner than I like to think about, too.
That can't happen. We need to take control and turn this ship around. Get back to the front lines of the battle for Elydia.
We are on the front lines. They're going to do this all over the quadrant. The whole Federation is at risk.
That is a possibility, but it's already a reality for my people.
I'm sure it's pretty damn real for the people who are trapped in their own bodies controlled by the Takan. You can't just turn your back on them.
I'll take this ship without you if I have to. And I'll bring it back to Elydia, or I'll destroy it. I won't let it stay in the hands of the enemy.
Think strategically. We stand a better chance by working together. You're right to be angry, but it doesn't do any good to turn it on us.
Fair enough.
The most important thing is that we get control of this ship, so that we don't end up so far away that the Resolute can't ever catch up to us.
And if we control the Zeldi, that also means they can't use that Cartabula thing.
I'm not sure we can do much more from here.
What's this? It's a data stream.
It looks to be a two-way communication.
Let me see if I could put it through a demultiplexing processor.
Can you get that clearer?
I'm trying. Okay. That should do it.
Hello? Can you read me?
Itasca, is that you?
Major!
It's my lieutenant. Where are you?
I'm here with some of the others. We're trapped in the ATP.
Our artillery targeting platform.
The bulkheads are sealed, and ruptured power conduits on the other side are discharging at high voltage. Major, we've seen Sidron and the other Hatari, and if we can get free, I think we'll be able to overpower them and take back the ship.
Itasca, are you still there? Itasca, are you still there?
You shouldn't trust anyone else you meet. The Hatari have been transforming people on this ship. We've seen it happen.
Bioforming.
It's only a matter of time before any remaining crew are turned against us. You have to come and help us.
I gotta ask, are you sure that's really your comrade?
It's Itasca. You're going to have to trust me. I know Lieutenant Itasca well. That's her. Clear and not under duress beyond our current circumstances. I'm sure of it.
Trust goes both ways. We trust you. You trust us.
I'll go with that. Until you give me reason not to.
Back at you, Stretch.
We'll make it to you undetected, and we'll free you from the ATP.
We'll be ready and waiting, sir.
I may not know the computers very well, but I know every inch of this ship. I can get us there, safely, through the back routes.
You may approach.
Your Majesty, an apology is in order.
the Federation...
Spare us your apologies, your excuses, your pathetic explanations. You said you were here under the pretense of peace, yet you trespassed into our minds. I should have known you couldn't be trusted when you sided with the Elydians. Your intentions have been clear from the start.
I take full responsibility for my actions, which were entirely my own, not the Federation's.
How noble.
Your Majesty, if I may.
Her actions nearly caused a war.
I was addressing the Queen.
Galvin speaks for the Hotari now.
Fortunately, we were able to resolve this ourselves despite your interference. The Elydians have agreed the mines will remain under Hotari control.
We now recognize the Hotari as the sole authority in this region. Your presence here is no longer necessary.
So you can consider the matter resolved.
They never wanted the Federation involved. This was all just a ploy from the start.
We never needed the Federation involved. But we're so thankful that you've come.
That being said, the sooner you leave, the better.
The hell we will. What about my crew trapped aboard that ship? Or what you did to my security team? The data you stole? I want to make one thing clear. No one is to leave Hotari space without Federation approval. No one.
You think you have that power, when in fact you have none. You came here under the presumption you would be the ultimate authority. That you would show up and render judgment in this petty dispute over precious resources between lesser people. But instead, your arrogance and self-interest was your undoing. Blinding you to the real power at work here. Something far beyond your feeble imagination.
Enough of this nonsense. You're not fooling anyone. We know you're Takan.
Takan. A word I haven't heard in a very long time. At the height of our power, the Takan Empire spanned hundreds of thousands of light years, and trillions of Taconians.
An empire that encompassed what is now considered Federation territory.
What's yours was once ours, so it feels only right that we reclaim what was lost. Everything you hold dear will be gone. The first of many painful losses to come.
You do realize this will never work. The Federation will stop you no matter what it takes.
Will they? From what I can tell, the Federation is little more than a loose assemblage of the weak and the misguided. But I certainly invite them to try. You might be surprised how many want to be part of the most advanced civilization the galaxy has ever seen. We will not stop until we've reclaimed what is rightfully ours. Imagine what a queen, a starship captain, or even a Federation ambassador could accomplish if their power was wielded by a truly superior entity. In the face of such impossible odds against an adversary so clearly more advanced in every way, the only logical choice is to submit.
Never.
Seize them.
Get us out of here, now!
Rydek to Resolute. Beam us out.
You ever done something like this before?
Close quarters combat? Infiltrating an enemy stronghold?
Something like that.
I once spent 6 days crawling through sewers during the siege of Tofar Ket to retake the citadel there. That's just one of many campaigns I've served in. My dress uniform is well decorated. I can assure you of that.
I'm sure you've given yourselves plenty of medals.
I'm glad we're here with you. We need your kind of experience.
I should say you do. And I'll be glad to have Lieutenant Itasca with us. She fought shoulder to shoulder with me in that siege.
So you're pretty close, huh?
She's like a daughter to me. She's saved my life more than once. She's more than just a comrade in arms.
That must mean she's a good soldier.
The very best.
We saved your life. What does that make us?
We aren't out of danger yet. But once we have my comrades, proper soldiers, we'll be able to retake the bridge. Then, our fleets will catch up to us. The ATP is just down that corridor.
Is this the artillery platform?
This is the power distribution for the forward armament cluster. There was combat here. Disruptor burns on the walls. Signs of a grenade detonation.
Is there another way in?
The only way is through there. We could go halfway around the ship and would end up coming into this same area from a different side. But we'd still have to cross that.
The distribution conduits have been knocked loose. The currents in those lines would be lethal. Is there any way to power those down?
Each circuit has a control panel that regulates power to the magnetobanks.
I can track connections between the power lines and the control panels. I should be able to clear a safe path to your crew.
We'll get the door open here.
It's heavy.
collateral damage out here.
They'd backed us into a corner.
We did that to drive them out. Put some space between us and the enemy. They're here. Get down!
I think they've given up on capture.
We'll never make it if we go back that way. You, give me a hand with this! Go! Go! Behind us!
Take the lead. We'll keep them busy.
Fall back! Hold them back! We can't let them reach the stairs!
Come on, hurry! No!
No! You can't just run in there.
Must live to fight.
We let the enemy take them. Hadri and Private Turo.
They weren't the only ones. But if we hadn't, it would have been all of us. I'll have to live with that, and I'll answer for it when I die. It's not the Illydian way to leave one of our own behind. It's a sin to do so.
We've lost people too. I know it's not easy.
What makes it worse is that when we were in there, trapped, Hadri is the one who said that we had to live to fight. And we all agreed. We said if one of us was taken, the others wouldn't stop. We'd keep going, make our way to the bridge. They died so we could fight on.
The Takan don't want them dead.
They want to steal their bodies. And steal their minds.
The Takan knows everything the host knows.
That means they know our plan. They know we're heading to the bridge.
Tylus, you should be in sickbay.
I'll finish this.
I couldn't just lie there knowing the entire fate of Hotari hangs in the balance. How did it go? You look exhausted.
I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty rough.
Oh no. That's what I was afraid of. I heard a rumor that they'd made a deal, that the Illydians agreed to peace. After what we saw Sidron do to the diplomat in the mines, I could hardly believe there was hope, but then... Is that true?
I'm afraid the truth is far worse than that.
There's no deal.
No. They're all Takan now. The Hatari, the Illidians, everyone.
No. That can't be true.
I'm sorry.
Where will I go? I can't go back. I don't have a home anymore. Everything I've ever known is gone.
Hotari isn't lost yet. This is far from over. It will be your home again, I promise.
Thank you.
The Federation stands with the Hotari. You don't have to doubt it for a second.
Yellow alert.
Commander Rydek, we need you on the bridge immediately. We've got an Illidian ship, the Veskar, rapidly bearing down on our position.
Or what was the Veskar. Now I'm not so sure.
Bring it up on the view screen.
600 kilometers in closing. Still coming straight for us. Commander?
Should we put our shields up? Just as a precautionary measure.
I'd like to avoid escalating this any more than we have to. Whatever the hell this is.
400 kilometers in closing.
Shields up. Ready phasers.
Shields up. Phasers ready. It's incoming.
Lock phasers and open fire.
Heavy damage. But deflectors still at full power?
That bypassed our shields entirely.
That's impossible. God damn it, return fire. Everything we've got. Rydek, modulate the shield frequencies. See if we can get us any cover.
Commander, I
got this. Just keep firing.
Shields still have no effect.
That doesn't make sense.
I'll try another. There!
We've got incoming! How do they keep matching our shield frequency?
They couldn't. Unless... They've compromised our shield algorithms. They can bypass our shields at will.
What?
Captain!
He's out cold!
Why'd they stop?
Damage report.
Running on emergency power. Major hull damage on decks 4 through 7. Warp core is stable and intact.
We're completely vulnerable.
Commander, we're being held by the Veskar. It's Galvin.
On screen.
Commander Rydek, where's your captain? Not dead, I hope. At least, not yet.
You're dealing with me. Is that a problem?
One inferior life form is as good as another. I have to give you credit, Commander. You survived longer than I thought you would. But make no mistake, your shields are useless, your weapons ineffective, and there's nothing you can do. I could destroy you at any moment. But I'd rather hear your pleas for mercy first. Your existence is entirely in my hands, and I'm not in a forgiving mood.
It's entirely possible you could destroy us. But the truth is, we're worth more to you alive than dead. Better if we report back to Starfleet about the power of Taconian technology, and the futility of fighting it.
There might be value in that. I've been thinking about what you said, Commander. That the Federation would stop me no matter what. Your performance in this encounter has not supported that claim.
The Veskar's weapons are powering up.
because there's merit to the idea you're worth more to me alive. Tell your Federation that Takan are as merciful as they are powerful. That you were fortunate to escape with your lives.
This isn't over.
I assure you, we've only just begun.
I've lost their signal.
Can you track their warp signature?
Nothing. It's untraceable, just like before.
Notify Ambassador Spock. I want everyone in the briefing room to discuss our options.
What's the status of the repairs?
Hull breach should be patched up in a matter of hours. Impulse power is at 67%. Should be fully restored soon.
Still no luck tracking Galvin's warp signature. They've all but disappeared.
Keep trying. Finding that son of a bitch is the best shot we've got.
Commander Rydek, you had the con after the ship was attacked. What is your assessment? Given our current situation, the losses we have suffered.
I'd rather not fight this alone. We need to call for reinforcements.
In that case, we might have an option. Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire. If anyone could find Galvin, it would be him.
That's assuming he's willing to help us.
True, but there's only one way to find out.
Wouldn't we need to secure authorization from the Federation Council to contact him?
The nearest Federation outpost is Andoria. I can travel there by shuttle and inform them personally of the threat from the Takan. Meanwhile, the Resolute can travel to the Delphi Ardu system in search of Portal 6-3.
I still have my doubts.
I do not. Captain William T. Riker has first-hand experience with the area and with Portal 6-3. His guidance will prove invaluable and should alleviate your concerns.
Delphi Ardu 4 is a restricted zone for good reason. For all we know, we could be walking into a trap. Not to mention the high likelihood Portal 6-3's allegiance will be with the Takan. It's just too much of a risk. A waste of time. Time we can't afford to lose.
What do we do instead? Let them get away? We have no other leads.
Well,
Every second we don't act, Galvin and our chances of stopping the Takan get farther and farther away.
I am inclined to agree with Commander Rydek. Her logic is sound. This portal may have knowledge that proves to be invaluable, including information on the nature of the Cartabula. We must act on the facts at hand.
Then we'll give it our best.
I'll arrange a meeting with Captain Riker.
And I will speak with the Council. They need to understand the magnitude of the situation. I can leave for Andoria immediately. I wish you luck finding Portal 6-3. The very future of the Federation may rest in your hands.
It takes a minimum of 8 crew on the bridge to run the ship, so we can expect at least that many hostiles.
If they bioformed Hadri, they know we're coming.
Which means everyone needs to be ready for... Take cover!
Now what? We need that door sealed.
We can handle that. Where do you need us?
There's an access panel there. You should be able to patch into the local system.
We'll be shot getting there.
I'll cover you. On my signal. Now!
Looking for the bridge doors. Wait, what's this?
Got something?
Gravity. If I invert the artificial gravity inside the bridge, that'll throw anyone on the bridge right up into the seal.
He'll never see it coming.
Itaska, get ready to charge.
Charge?
Forcing gravity polarity. Now!
Amazing.
Close in!
get them down. What are we gonna do with them?
We don't have time to take prisoners.
So you're just gonna shoot them?
I haven't decided yet.
That's not just up to you.
I'm the ranking officer.
And we're not in your army.
It may not be convenient, but we don't kill enemies who've surrendered.
Keeping prisoners is a luxury we don't have.
It's not a damn luxury.
You're an engineer, not a soldier. This is clearly my territory.
You think you have enemy combatants here? This is a hostage situation. Each one of them has an innocent life inside. I'll keep watch on them.
As will I. We can't let our guard down around the enemy.
Petty Officer Diaz and I will figure out how to stop the ship.
Let's hurry. The rest of the Takan could show up any minute. Crystals. They're all over this place. Where's the captain?
Captain Ostego did not survive the atmosphere poisoning.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He died defending the Empire. That's how he'd want it.
This console looks unaffected. Interfaces on top of each other.
This is not Lydian programming.
Any trouble?
Don't worry about me. Worry about Stretch over there.
Why?
He's looking for any excuse to vaporize the prisoners. But I'll make sure he doesn't. Even if they're the enemy, it's not right.
I'm here if you need a hand.
Just hurry up and figure out this bridge. That's the best way to help.
Gotta figure this out before we get wherever we're going. If the Resolute can't catch up to us, we're in a whole different kind of trouble.
Careful where you point that thing.
It's not active. I can't see any way this would work as a weapon. It's dead.
Out of ammo?
Not sure. Everything under control?
Yes, these Takan haven't made a move. Yet.
And what you're doing is working.
There's plenty more I can do. But it doesn't have to be that way. As long as they behave.
Look here. It's navigational data.
We saw that already. Headed to the edge of the galaxy.
It's only a display. We couldn't use it to change course or alter speed.
It's the Takan language.
From what I can tell, the ship's systems are actively responding to input.
Which is the opposite of how most bridges work. They usually send commands, not receive them.
It's from an intrusive program. This control station won't do us any good.
Engine's a red line, running at full power. But this main drive manifold is spiking way over nominal levels.
Very dangerous.
Even at 100% output, the warp cores wouldn't push this much plasma to the drive section.
That much reactor output would drive us past the theoretical top speed of this ship. So how fast are we actually going?
We're gonna be there in less than an hour.
We can't let that happen.
Hold on, it would take days to go this distance with our fastest ship. We're traveling at a warp factor many times greater than this ship should even be capable of. Even with the engines pushed as hard as they are, they wouldn't produce this speed.
Whether it's these crystals, or the power from the Cartabula, the Takana found a way to increase the engine output and top speed. We have to find a way to hit the brakes before we outrun anyone who could help us.
We stop it, so they can't get this ship where they're going, and enact the next phase of their plan. That is, if they don't destroy us all first. I would have thought this ship would disintegrate going this speed.
So what is their endgame? They've transformed individuals, they've transformed this ship, in a way. How far will they go?
As far as we let them. Their technology certainly doesn't seem to have limits.
I hate to think what the Cartabula could do if it was plugged into something it was meant to power. Crystals are Takan technology. They seem to be active, just like the rest of their tech. Tetrametric pulses.
Tetrametric?
It's the energy signature of Takan technology. Everything they make gives off this type of radiation.
They're blocking the inputs. It's not responding at all. Everything I try, it just ignores me.
I thought you had the access codes needed to take control back.
I should, but I can't actually get to the surface, so I can't enter them here. The overriding code is blocking me at the other station. What have they done to this bridge?
Consoles running themselves, some clogged up with crystals that are sending off tetrametric pulses.
But none of this is sending signals outward. It's receiving.
They're flying the ship from somewhere else.
That should be impossible. But it explains why there's less than a full bridge crew. If they aren't flying the ship from the bridge, where are they controlling it from?
That's everything. We got some answers.
I don't like what they tell us, though.
If we can learn nothing else, then what's left is to make these Takan talk. And if they don't, we'll dispose of them.
Hey, that's not how we do this.
That is enough from you. I thought that thing was useless.
It was. No power. Until he touched it. Weapons must be biocoded.
Our technology will only work for one of our kind.
I can assure you, this weapon works just fine for me.
Slow down, Arminta.
You can't control this ship with a disruptor.
But I can use it to control you.
Ah!
Let's talk.
The Titan's communications officer says Captain Riker will be ready in just a moment. You need to see this. The report on the data breach.
Damn. It's worse than I'd hoped. They didn't just compromise our shields. They stole the shield algorithms for all of Starfleet as well. Meaning every ship is potentially vulnerable to attack, making this so much worse than it already was.
Given the potential consequences, we should notify Starfleet as soon as possible.
I don't disagree, but I'll reach out to Ambassador Spock about it. I don't want to cause a panic, and I doubt he does either.
I have Captain Riker for you.
Let's not mention any of this shield business to Riker just yet. Put him through. Captain Riker, this is my first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
My pleasure.
Sir.
I wish we were all meeting under better circumstances.
So do I, although you and I have actually met before.
We have?
I was a young lieutenant on the Potemkin. You were first officer on the Tuckerman. I piloted you and our science officer in a shuttle to survey quantum resonance in the planetary rings of Resurgence 6.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
You know, he gave me some good advice that day about a very difficult job. Yours.
Well, I'm not one to turn down some words of wisdom, sir.
Then let me ask, as first officer on a starship, where does your responsibility lie, first and foremost? To the captain, the crew, or the ship itself?
Oh, this old chestnut. I am curious to hear what she says, though.
Ultimately, my responsibility is to the crew at large.
The needs of the many. You have been hanging around Ambassador Spock. But the truth is, it's a trick question. Every situation is different, and there are no easy answers. And in some cases, it might not be any of those three. It could be the prime directive, or the mission.
Yes, so perhaps we should get to the matter at hand. When you were with the Enterprise, you encountered a Takan entity known as Portal 6-3. The Enterprise was held captive in orbit until you were able to convince him to let the ship go.
All of which is detailed in the mission report.
What we want from you is what we can't get from the report. What can we use to get Portal 6-3 to help us?
I've often thought about that over the years. How a small difference in the encounter could have led to disaster. The most important thing is, don't let him push you around. He can appear as a man or as a godlike projection. He'll test you, but don't be overwhelmed by the pageantry and theatrics.
I'll stand up to him. You can trust in that.
Good, but that's just the first step. Portal is full of bluster and bravado, but he can be reasoned with. And that's my other piece of advice. You want to appeal to him rationally. You don't want him thinking you're acting out of fear.
But we are afraid of the Takan, and with good reason.
He's not the sort to suffer fools. And he'll lose interest if he feels his time is being wasted.
I suppose that's one thing we have in common.
Do you think he knows that the Takan have returned?
He didn't even know they were gone when we went there. But the moment the Enterprise dropped into orbit around Delphi Ardu 4, he downloaded the entirety of the ship's computer. So I'd expect the same when you get there.
What if he won't cooperate and we have to face these Takan ourselves?
Then we have a much bigger problem on our hands.
What I mean is, in the 16 years since you discovered this outpost, there has to have been research. Battle plans for what to do about the Takan if we encountered more of them. I need to know what they are.
If I had that answer, it would have been the first thing I told you.
We both know Command has had their share of hidden plans in the past. Like Admiral Hansen and Captain Shelby's Special Projects Division at Starfleet Tactical, devising new ways to take on the board.
Trust me, this isn't some Starfleet conspiracy to keep you in the dark. But if you two don't think you're equipped to make contact, you need to tell me now. Because there is no silver bullet here. Now's not the time to hesitate. I need to know you're up to this.
Were you equipped to meet Portal 6-3 all those years ago?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And we have the benefit of your experience on our side.
Fair enough. There was a special task force that considered the Takan, and I was part of it. But because there were no other signs of the Empire, we determined the best course of action was to create a restricted zone around the Delphi-Ardu system. I have my concerns, but I'll clear the way with the brass for your travel into the restricted space. Just remember what I've told you. And it wouldn't hurt to read some Sun Tzu en route. Or Marcus Aurelius.
Anything else?
Thank you for your support, Captain Riker.
I wish I could be there myself. But my first officer would probably see to it that I stay on the bridge while they get all the excitement on the away mission. The burdens of command. Rest assured, the Federation is taking this threat very seriously. You won't be alone out there for too long.
Thank you, Captain Riker.
One more thing. Ambassador Spock said that Khan stole some data from your central computer. What's that all about?
We're still assessing the extent of the breach. Nothing to report as of right now.
That's it? Ambassador Spock suggested it was something more serious, which is why I'm asking.
One thing we know is that they stole Starfleet shield algorithms.
The shield algorithms? That could jeopardize every ship in the fleet.
We're still making sure our assessment is accurate. We don't want to raise alarms unnecessarily.
This is as real as it gets, Solano. I have to talk to Starfleet Command now, so I think this conversation has come to an end. I really do hope you get Portal 6-3 and find those Khan before this gets out of control. Riker out.
I specifically said I wanted to keep this under wraps. I thought we had an understanding. Now all of Starfleet will hear about this.
Riker's ship is at risk. They all are. I can't believe you would want to keep that from him.
That's one more thing I'll have to answer for. Now I have to think about the damage control of it all. You're dismissed.
It's the automated Federation warning buoy. Transmitting the disable code Captain Riker provided.
That was unpleasant. Commander Ermont, what are the conditions of our systems?
All internal systems operational.
Commander Westbrook, what are your scans of the planet?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
No sign of this outrageously powerful Khan being?
I'm running a magneton scan now, but so far, nothing.
Where are you? Prep your way, team. We don't know if Portal 6-3 will cooperate. He's not an asset. He's an enemy. Be ready for anything.